Hello world, Ndewu, Ni hao. I am Somtochukwu Christelle Maduagwu, and I am beyond honored to be representing a great nation of rich culture, beauty, and undeniable talent, the Giant of Africa, Nigeria, at the Miss Tourism World Pageant 2023. I'm eagerly looking forward to this journey of cultural immersion and exchange, self-discovery, and of course, sisterhood. 我爱传说，我在传说等你。
An armed robbery incident in the Katampe district of the federal capital city has claimed the life of Arise news anchor, correspondent and producer Somtochukwu Maduagwu.
By birth, I don't have an option about the kind of woman that I want to be. I'm the first daughter of my parents, so right out of the womb, I'm a born leader.
The security personnel at the apartment building say they alerted the police but got no response. Relatives say they died because they did not get needed attention promptly, as hospital staff refused treatment until their identification documents were produced.
In one of her last tweets back in August, Sommie wrote on X, "I pray from the depth of my heart that Nigeria never happens to me or anyone I care about."
Residents say the robbers, numbering more than 15, attacked the 16 apartments in the compound.
That they had the audacity, even though they were not afraid of the police, that 15 of them stormed a block of flats and rained terror for a considerable amount of time, and security officials, the police did not come at any point during the operation. That speaks a lot to the breakdown of security in the state capital, in the capital of Nigeria.
Sommie, I miss you so much. And I'll just take comfort in our last conversation and all the plans that you had for your life.
The circumstances surrounding her death. She jumped down from her home when she heard about 14 armed robbers came to her home. And she did not die on the spot, Dr. Abati. She went to the hospital and she was rejected, because this really is a tragic, tragic incident. Sommie's life could have been saved, but the hospital rejected her.
Before we dive into the mystery of today's missing person case, let me put you on to something that's been my go-to escape from all the intense research and editing. It's called Scatter Slots, a mobile game with over 20 million players worldwide.
Think dark fantasy meets RPG adventure, all wrapped in slot machine magic. You're not just spinning reels, you're unlocking mystical worlds, joining powerful circles, and going on epic quests. I'm absolutely captivated. The visuals are stunning, the soundtrack is immersive, and every slot has its own story and characters. It's available on iOS and Android, and it's perfect for those moments when I need a break from transcripts and timelines.
There's journey mode, tournaments, free mode, and even offline play.
With over 300 themed slots, hourly bonuses, and fantasy-driven gameplay, it's a whole world waiting to be explored.
Do you need a little me time? Escape into enchanted spins, mystical quests, and endless wins. Download Scatter Slots now and get 12 million in free coins to kickstart your adventure. And hey, if you hit the jackpot, tag me. I want to see those wins. All right, let's get back to the case.
Somtochukwu Sommie Christelle Maduagwu was a 29-year-old journalist, barrister, and pageant queen. Her friends and family remember her as deeply kind and ambitious, with an ability to balance intellect and compassion. Born on December 26, 1995, Sommie earned her law degree in the United Kingdom and returned to Nigeria to complete her national service. She began her career as a legal executive and junior counsel before discovering her passion for media.
To our viewers in the US and around the
the world. I am Sommie Maduagwu, coming to you from Nigeria's capital, Abuja.
Her ability to connect legal issues with everyday human experiences made her reporting both impactful and relatable. At Arise News, she served as a reporter, anchor, and producer. Colleagues described her as a calm yet powerful presence on screen and a warm, driven professional off-screen.
Well, as the chief of correspondence, I had the honor and privilege of indeed supervising her daily activities on the a reportorial beat, and like I've said, a very passionate person, a go-getter, delectable, intelligent, resourceful. Now you take a look at the areas that she has spanned through, the kind of careers that she's done. You don't go from being a lawyer to walking the runway in pageantry, and then also carry on with philanthropy work, and then you go to the media. Now it tells you that this is a daring personality. This is somebody an achiever who is not just contented with doing one thing, and then from here she achieves, she moves on to the next one, makes the goal count, and then moves on to the next one. Well, when she passed, she was with Arise. We don't know exactly what she will be doing next, but then her last report was on the women's bill, which she pursued vigorously. I remember her telling me about it for a week, reminding me that, yes, come on, a couple of millions of women are going to get together, pursued it vigorously, put out one of the best reports. So it just tells you, how industrious she is on the beat and the kind of go-getter that she is.
Her dedication to advocacy and her empathetic approach to journalism earned her admiration across the industry. She was the kind of journalist who didn't just read the news, she lived it. Outside of law and reporting, Sommie was deeply committed to empowering girls and women. She founded She Takes Up Space, a community-driven initiative that hosted events to help young girls embrace leadership, break barriers, and boldly take up space in society.
Tell me why you're crying, how can it be, girl? When you gave me something I don't really feel, but you know that already. When I found you on the ground in the dark, now you come into my heart uninvited. When you see me on the edge, I'm not. Would you cry or would you try to get me? Tell me now, I want me to be clear. Tell me now.
Sommie loved to wear pink. She would often remind me of Reese Witherspoon in Legally Blonde because she was a lawyer and pink was her favorite color. But aside from that, Sommie loved young girls, and one of her greatest goals in life was to empower as many young girls around the world as she could. Which is one of the reasons why she was a pageant girl. She was a very, very successful. She was very successful in the world of pageantry. And she was using her platform to empower other young girls fighting for their rights and their voices to be heard.
In 2020, she became the face of Azarin Cosmetics, fronting major campaigns that celebrated beauty and confidence across Nigeria. 3 years later, in 2023, she captured national attention by winning the prestigious Miss Tourism World Nigeria title, representing her country with elegance and pride on an international stage.
By birth, I don't have an option about the kind of woman that I want to be. I'm the first daughter of my parents, so right out of the womb, I'm a born leader, and so that's kind of at the top of my mind in any decision that I'm making. On a bigger picture, I want to be a politician. Like you mentioned, I'm from Anambra State, I'm from Anambra Central, and I'm very interested in politics. I'm very interested in impacting my state and Nigeria in general. And I moved to London at the end of my National Youth Service program, like everyone does, just jackpot, trying to make some money. And I just felt very unfulfilled. I was making more money than I ever would in Nigeria, but I just felt very unfulfilled. So the kind of woman I want to be is definitely having positive impact in Nigeria. She's definitely taking up space. She's definitely not just talking about increasing female participation in politics. She's actually doing something to make that happen.
Her final tweet, posted on August 14th, 2025, now echoes across the nation. I pray from the depth of my heart that Nigeria never happens to me or anyone I care about. That prayer, once a quiet plea, has become a national cry. Not long after, Nigeria did happen to her in the most brutal way imaginable. Katampe Extension is one of Abuja's most affluent and rapidly growing districts. Favored by wealthy professionals, politicians, expatriates, and diplomats, the neighborhood offers reliable power, 24/7 security, luxury estates, and quick access to the diplomatic zone and central business district. Recent infrastructure upgrades have attracted major real estate investments, transforming Katampe into a hub for high-end living. The area boasts upscale duplexes, terrace homes, serviced estates, and investment-grade properties. According to one of her neighbors, they thought the apartment was safe. She said, "It's in a very secure area. They believed the doors were strong and felt protected by armed security." But sadly, around 3 a.m. on Monday, September 29, 2025, a group of 14 to 15 armed men stormed Unique Apartments, a residential complex in Katampe Extension. The robbers moved from unit to unit, killing a security guard and injuring another, while terrified residents scrambled for safety.
They overpowered him, they gained access to the and they robbed every flat from the ground floor to the last floor. So on getting to our own flat, she was maybe some people cannot handle pressure. Some of the occupants, when they barged into their own apartment, they surrendered what they have. They even left unhurt. They didn't do anything to them. But unfortunately, she couldn't handle that shock. Imagine, within 3 months in the Federal Capital Territory, this would be like 8 or 9 estates they will rob in this district alone. In this Katampe.
One survivor described waking up naked to 4 armed men breaking down her door with machetes and guns. Despite frantic calls for help, police reportedly failed to respond on time. Witnesses described the attackers as operating with military-style precision, suggesting careful planning and familiarity with the premises.
Well, when the attack took place, there was no power. The neighbors in the compound say they actually pay services for power. The CCTV is not working. The inverter not even working. The security guys complained that their phones were not even powered on to reach, the police. They use intercom to communicate to some person. Some persons also said they tried to reach the police and then the numbers were not reachable. The police themselves, from when they heard to the point that they came, how long did it take?
As gunshots rang out, Sommie, who lived on the third floor, panicked as the assailants approached. In a desperate attempt to escape, she jumped from her balcony. Witnesses say she cried out loud for Jesus before hitting the ground, critically injured but still alive. The robbery lasted just 15 minutes. By the time police arrived, the attackers were gone, and Sommie had been pleading for help the entire time. According to Commissioner of Police Ajao Adewale, officers arrived at the scene around 3:20 a.m., found Sommie unconscious, and rushed her to Maitama General Hospital, where conflicting reports emerged. Some outlets alleged treatment was delayed over identification and payment issues. According to Arise News, by the time someone arrived with her ID, she had already been moved to the morgue without communication.
That, the security guard, which you also mentioned, and alongside Sommie were wheeled. They were not in a stretcher. They were wheeled into the hospital, and they weren't given any treatment because of lack of identification. And by the time the person who had the identification came by to the hospital, Sommie was already taken to the morgue without any sort of communication.
These contradictions have fueled public anger and demands for accountability. Nonetheless, a special task force is now hunting the suspects, reviewing CCTV footage, collecting forensic evidence, and interviewing residents. On October 1st, police addressed the delayed response and shared updates on the ongoing investigation.
Regarding the circumstances surrounding the incident, to set the record straight, some Udnon, armed robbers specifically, gained access into unique apartments where Sommie lives. A twin 3-story, 18-flat apartment around the Girishiri end of Katampe under Mabushi divisional area. At this point in time, 2 guards were on duty, security men. These are private guards. And one of them, who had the courage to challenge, sustained a gunshot. Under this condition, the panic that will have resulted from this kind of environment. Sommie actually occupied an apartment on the topmost floor of the building. And out of the fear, she jumped down from that 3rd story, the top floor. The consequences is what we have seen. It's so sad, so unfortunate.
The robbery happened at around from 3 a.m., but the response time of the police was appalling. What's supposed to be the response mechanism by the Nigerian police?
Thank you. Thank you so much, Rufai. See, the situation is this. When we are talking of response time, it's a function of several factors. All right? When was the call made to the police? Where was the location of the police team as at that point in time? What is the proximity? What is the nature of environment we are contending with? Okay? These are the factors that determine what time the police will arrive there. Okay? Take note. These are developing areas with streets that are not numbered. It's happening in so area. You need to place this one on the Google and see how you can navigate to that environment. These are things that determine when the police will get to that location. See, something happening in Mabushi, that area might be closer to Maitama than to Mabushi. But when we are raising concern to Mabushi division will be moving.
It's on the basis of, on proximity rule, so division, move to the location. I think as at that point in time, the police got to that place 20 minutes after 3.
A resident in that area said that within 3 months, about 8 estates have been robbed in that district alone. So we appreciate the fact that there will be investigations conducted in this particular incident. But how about the others that have happened? Have investigations been done? Perhaps if we had reports around that or security had been reinforced, we would not have this situation happen. So can you please share with us investigations that have happened for, around that area with security concerns? Very briefly, sir.
In terms of presence and visibility, I think Mabush is one area that's heavily covered by police presence. But this is a developing, spreading area where you see buildings in the suburb coming up. You understand? All these are things being attended to, right? So the report that about 8 robbery incidents that happened around that environment, look, my record does not support that. And for every action that takes place, police take immediate reaction to address the situation. And that is much we are doing. And that is much we continue to do. We are sure you just will be served and perpetrators will be tracked and they will be brought to justice. Okay, thank you so much.
The scale and precision of the attack have raised alarms about organized crime and the fragility of security in Abuja's elite neighborhoods. Luckily, less than a week later, police revealed the gang behind the Katampe robbery got weapons from a Niger Republic supplier. 12 suspects were arrested on October 9, 2025. The group admitted to other robberies in Katampe, Apo, and Zuba. 3 suspects and the arms dealer remain at large. Residents are urged to stay vigilant and report suspicious activities. Sommie's death has shaken the nation, sparking a movement for justice, accountability, and reform. If you have any information about the robbery that led to Sommie Maduagwu's death, please contact the FCT Police Command immediately. Your tip could help bring justice.
This is absolutely devastating. I will keep my thoughts and prayers with the family, friends, and co-workers of Sommie. She seems like a young lady that touched the lives of many, and it's so sad to see that she has left this earth this way. This could happen to anybody. Please learn from situations like this. These videos aren't for no reason. They're life lessons. Sometimes fear can make us do the unexpected. I really wish that she had the support that she needed. I really hope an investigation is thoroughly done, especially with the hospital. I also want to thank the film crew. I had to find somebody in the area to get some footage so that you guys could really see the area. You all, let me know your thoughts and your opinions down below. Please be respectful in the comments. And I thank you again for watching. With that being said, I love you all dearly, and please don't forget to check on your loved ones.